Most human beings live in a constant state of reactive firefighting. They wait for a crisis to fully erupt in their physical world, a financial emergency, a health breakdown, a bitter relationship conflict, or a sudden career collapse, before they desperately begin searching for a solution. They spend enormous amounts of physical energy, emotional stress, and financial resources trying to extinguish a fire that has already consumed the building. They treat the physical manifestation as if it were the cause, completely unaware that by the time a problem appears in the physical world, it is merely the final, downstream outcome of a process that began long ago in the hidden realm of their own consciousness. Emmet Fox taught a radically different approach, preventive metaphysics. He demonstrated that no problem, difficulty, or crisis ever appears in your life suddenly or out of nowhere. Long before a problem manifests as a concrete physical fact, it exists as a quiet, subtle seed thought in the subconscious mind. It begins as a fleeting whisper of anxiety, a subtle feeling of insecurity, an unexamined fear, or a lingering resentment. If that seed thought is ignored, harbored, or nourished through repeated mental attention, it gradually gathers emotional momentum, builds a mental blueprint, and eventually precipitates into your physical world as a full-blown crisis. The master of life does not wait for the seed to become an overwhelming tree of trouble before taking action. The master neutralizes the seed the moment it appears in consciousness. Neutralizing a problem at the seed stage requires almost no effort at all. It is as simple as turning your head, changing your focus, or applying a quiet spiritual truth. But if you allow that seed to grow, germinate, and take root in your subconscious mind, removing it later will require far greater vigilance and mental discipline. Tonight, we are going to explore the precise mechanics of how to neutralize any problem before it ever has the chance to manifest in your physical experience. You will learn how to recognize the subtle early warning signs of negative mental seeds, how to apply Emmet Fox's Law of Substitution before emotional momentum builds, and how to maintain a subconscious atmosphere so clean and high vibrational that negative conditions simply cannot find a fertile place to take root in your life. To understand how to neutralize a problem before it manifests, you must first understand the life cycle of a physical circumstance. Nothing in this universe is created instantaneously in the physical realm. Everything follows the universal law of seed, time, and harvest. A giant oak tree was once a tiny acorn. A magnificent skyscraper was once a single line drawn on a piece of paper. In the exact same way, every physical situation you experience today was once a subtle mental seed dwelling silently in your subconscious mind. When a negative thought enters your mind, for instance, a sudden thought of financial loss, a fear of illness, or a doubt about someone's loyalty, it arrives as an unformed seed. At that precise moment, the thought has no independent power. It is merely a suggestion standing at the doorway of your consciousness, asking for permission to enter and take root. It carries no authority, no physical reality, and no ability to harm you on its own. The problem arises when you grant that seed thought your emotional attention. The moment you begin to ponder the negative thought, rehearse its consequences, worry about its possibilities, or feel a surge of fear regarding it, you are watering the seed. You are supplying it with the exact emotional nourishment it needs to germinate. As you continue to dwell on it over hours, days, or weeks, the subconscious mind accepts the seed as an official instruction and begins to assemble the physical conditions required to bring it into material form. Emmet Fox emphasized that the key to preventive living is becoming acutely aware of this seed stage. The moment you feel the subtle tightening in your stomach or notice a quiet thought of dread entering your mind, you must recognize it for what it truly is, a seed that has not yet sprouted. You do not need to panic, and you do not need to fight it. You simply need to refuse to nourish it, knowing that a seed without water and light is completely powerless to grow. The fundamental engine that drives all manifestation is the law of mental attention. This law states with absolute precision, whatever you give your mental attention to will inevitably expand in your experience, and whatever you withhold your attention from will starve and dissolve out of your life. Most people unwittingly sabotage their own lives because they believe that thinking about a potential problem is a form of responsible preparation. They tell themselves, I need to worry about this so I can be ready if the worst happens. Or I need to keep my eye on this negative situation so it doesn't catch me off guard. They mistake anxious dwelling for practical diligence. In reality, by keeping their mental gaze fixed on the negative possibility, they are continually feeding it with creative energy and inviting it into their reality. Emmet Fox pointed out that your attention is your most precious creative asset. Wherever your attention goes, your spiritual energy flows. If you spend 20 minutes rehearsing a potential argument, meditating on a physical symptom, or worrying about an unpaid bill, you have just invested 20 minutes of creative spiritual power into bringing that exact conflict, illness, or lack into fuller physical expression. To neutralize a problem before it manifests, you must discipline your attention. You must treat your mind as a sacred garden. If you were tending a physical garden, you would not carefully water and fertilize the weeds while neglecting the flowers. You would pull the weeds immediately or ignore them completely while nourishing the plants you wish to harvest. The law of mental attention requires you to withdraw your focus from the negative seed the very second you recognize its presence, depriving it of the vital attention it requires to grow into a physical reality. Now let us examine the exact practical technique for neutralizing a negative mental seed the moment it appears in your awareness. Emmet Fox taught that speed is essential in preventive metaphysics. Neutralizing a negative thought within the first 10 seconds of its arrival requires almost zero effort. If you catch it later, after it has sparked a wave of emotional panic and body tension, the process requires greater focus. Therefore, cultivating swift mental alertness is your greatest defense. When a subtle negative seed thought arrives, such as, "What if I lose my job?" or "What if this pain is something serious?" follow this three-step technique of instant neutralization. First, hide the seed. Instantly stop the thought in its tracks by mentally declaring, "No, I refuse to give this my energy." Do not engage with the thought, do not argue with it, and do not try to reason why it won't happen. Arguing with a negative thought keeps your attention locked onto it. Simply issue a firm, silent refusal to entertain it further. Second, disconnect the emotion. Take a deep, slow breath and consciously relax your physical body. Negative thoughts attempt to hijack your physiology by creating a sudden contraction in your chest, shoulders, or stomach. By intentionally relaxing your physical muscles, you break the physiological feedback loop that feeds anxiety to your subconscious mind. Third, shift the channel. Immediately redirect your attention to something completely different, constructive, and inspiring. Turn your focus to a spiritual truth. Express gratitude for a present blessing, or immerse yourself fully in the immediate task at hand. By shifting the channel of your mind within those critical first few seconds, you pull the plug on the negative seed before it can ignite an emotional reaction. As we have previously established, the human mind cannot remain in a vacuum. You cannot simply not think about something. You must think about something else. This is where Emmet Fox's celebrated law of substitution becomes your primary preventive weapon. When a negative seed thought arrives, the average person tries to push it away through mental force. They grit their teeth and say, "I must stop worrying about this." But as we know, fighting a thought keeps your focus squarely upon it. The law of substitution teaches that you do not fight the darkness. You simply turn on a bright light. The power of using the law of substitution early, at the seed stage, is that the emotional momentum behind the negative thought is still extremely weak. If you wait until a fear has developed into a full panic attack, substituting the thought feels like trying to turn around a speeding locomotive with your bare hands. But if you apply substitution at the very first whisper of worry, it is as easy as turning the steering wheel of a parked car. Keep a mental list of powerful, elevating substitute thoughts ready at all times. These can be simple, profound spiritual affirmations such as, "God is infinite peace. Divine order governs my life. Infinite intelligence is providing my abundant supply," or "All is well in my world." The moment a seed thought of fear or lack touches your mind, instantly drop it and repeat your chosen substitute thought with quiet, calm conviction. Do not say it with panic or strain. Say it with the calm authority of someone stating a known mathematical fact. Within moments, the negative seed is dissolved by the higher vibration of truth, leaving your subconscious mind clear, peaceful, and harmonious. In the teaching of Emmet Fox, the most thorough and scientific method for neutralizing negative mental seeds and preventing physical crises is known as spiritual treatment. Treatment is not begging God to intervene. Treatment is the systematic scientific realignment of your conscious mind with the underlying reality of spiritual law. A treatment is performed by intentionally lifting your consciousness out of the realm of human appearances and placing it firmly in the realm of divine perfection. When you sense an impending problem or feel a persistent cloud of dread hanging over you, perform a preventive treatment immediately following these 4 structural phases. Phase 1. Recognition. Turn your mind completely away from the world of human appearances and contemplate the nature of the divine. Remind yourself that spirit is universal power, infinite wisdom, unlimited abundance, perfect health, and eternal harmony. Realize that this divine power is the ultimate reality behind all physical manifestations. Phase 2. Unification. Realize your inseparable connection to this divine power. Affirm quietly, I am one with spirit, the life, power, wisdom, and abundance of universal intelligence flow through me right now without blockage or limitation. Phase 3. Realization and claiming. Apply this divine truth specifically to the seed condition. Affirm, because spirit is perfect harmony, there is no place for discord, lack, or fear in my experience. I claim perfect divine protection, absolute financial abundance, and vibrant physical health right now. Phase 4. Thanksgiving and release. Close your treatment with deep, quiet gratitude, thanking Spirit that the truth is already established in consciousness. Then completely release the matter, rising from your treatment with a relaxed mind, knowing that the law has been set in motion. Let us apply preventive metaphysics specifically to the realm of finances and material security. Financial crises rarely happen overnight. Before a person experiences a sudden loss of income, a major unexpected debt, or a period of acute financial strain, their subconscious mind has usually been accumulating seeds of scarcity, financial fear, and economic anxiety for months or years. What do financial scarcity seeds look like in daily life? They appear as subtle, unexamined habits of thought, flinching every time you open a bill, constantly saying, I can't afford that, with a feeling of bitterness, envying the prosperity of others, or secretly worrying that your income stream could disappear at any moment. Every time you entertain these subtle thoughts, you are planting seeds of financial lack in your subconscious mind. To neutralize financial problems before they manifest, you must become hyper-aware of your emotional reactions to money. When an invoice or bill arrives, refuse to react with a feeling of contraction or dread. Instead, use that moment as an opportunity to practice instant neutralization. Bless the bill. Give thanks that you have the divine capacity to meet your obligations and affirm, infinite intelligence is my unlimited source of supply. My financial good is constantly expanding. When you see someone else enjoying financial abundance, do not allow a seed of jealousy or comparison to take root. Jealousy is a subconscious confession that you believe abundance is limited and that someone else's success deprives you of yours. Immediately neutralize jealousy by genuinely praising their prosperity. Bless them and affirm, what God has done for them, Spirit does for me, and more. By praising abundance wherever you see it, you build a subconscious mental equivalent of wealth that completely prevents financial scarcity from manifesting in your life. The human body is an exceptionally sensitive instrument that continuously responds to the subconscious atmosphere of the mind. Long before a physical symptom or disease manifests in the biological body, it exists as a seed of emotional tension, suppressed fear, or chronic stress in consciousness. Physical health problems are frequently the downstream biological result of harbored emotional seeds, specifically seeds of suppressed anger, chronic anxiety, self-criticism, and unresolved guilt. When these negative emotional seeds are allowed to sit in the subconscious mind for prolonged periods, they alter the body's nervous system, contract the muscular structure, and disrupt the body's natural self-healing mechanisms. Preventive metaphysics allows you to neutralize health problems long before they take physical form in your body. Pay close attention to the subtle physical warnings your body gives you when a negative mental seed arrives. A sudden clenching of your jaw, a tightening in your chest, or a knot in your stomach are physical signals that your mind has just entertained a thought of fear or resistance. The moment you notice physical tension or a fleeting fear about your health, apply instant neutralization. First, speak directly to your physical body with calm, loving authority. Remind yourself, my body is the temple of spirit. Perfect life force flows through every cell, organ, and tissue right now. Second, release any harbored emotional bitterness. If you realize that your physical tension is connected to anger at someone, immediately apply forgiveness. Release the grievance, knowing that holding anger in your mind is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. Third, substitute health fears with a clear mental image of vitality, energy, and wholeness. By keeping your subconscious atmosphere free from the toxic seeds of fear and resentment, you create an internal, biological environment where illness simply cannot find a foothold. Bitter relationship ruptures, divorces, and painful conflicts do not happen out of the blue. They are the cumulative harvest of hundreds of tiny seeds of unspoken friction, unexpressed resentment, silent judgment, and defensive pride planted over time. A major relationship crisis usually begins with a tiny seed thought. They don't respect me. They always do this to me. I knew they would disappoint me. Or, I have to defend myself against them. If these subtle seed thoughts are allowed to sit in your mind without being neutralized, they color your tone of voice, your body language, and your interpretations of the other person's actions. Soon an explosive argument erupts over something trivial, but the real cause was the long-accumulated harvest of unneutralized mental seeds. To neutralize relationship problems before they manifest, you must practice strict mental hygiene regarding how you think about other people in the privacy of your own mind. Whenever you catch yourself mentally criticizing, judging, or arguing with someone in your thoughts, stop immediately. Recognize that you are planting seeds of conflict that will eventually sprout in your physical interactions with that person. Apply the law of substitution instantly. Turn your attention away from their flaws and focus on their positive qualities, no matter how small they may seem. If you cannot find a positive quality, focus on the spiritual truth of their real identity. The divine spirit within them is wise, loving, and harmonious. Silent, mental blessing is the most powerful tool for preventive relationship harmony. When you quietly send thoughts of peace, goodwill, and freedom to someone in secret, you dissolve the subtle friction between your subconscious minds long before it ever turns into a physical argument. Earlier, we explored Emmet Fox's renowned principle, the golden key. Stop thinking about the problem and think about God instead. While most people apply the golden key during an ongoing crisis, its true power reaches its peak when used preventively at the very first sign of trouble. When you use the golden key preventively, you do not wait for a small doubt or minor complication to grow into a massive crisis. You apply the key the precise second a problem attempts to introduce itself to your mind. Imagine you receive an unexpected email that has a slightly concerning tone, or you hear a rumor at work about potential restructuring. The untrained mind immediately begins to construct catastrophic narratives. What if I get laid off? How will I pay my mortgage? What will I do? Within 2 minutes, a tiny seed of uncertainty has been watered into a full-scale mental panic. The practitioner of preventive metaphysics uses the golden key immediately. The moment that concerning email or rumor touches their awareness, they mentally step back and say, "No, I am not going down that path. I am turning away from this appearance, and I am turning to God." They immediately fill their consciousness with the reality of spirit. God is infinite security. God is absolute divine order. God is my supreme protector. Infinite intelligence is guiding every aspect of my career and life. They refuse to speculate, analyze, or worry. They hold their mind steadily on the perfection of the divine for a few minutes until peace is restored. By using the golden key at the very onset, the potential crisis is neutralized in the unseen realm, and the physical situation dissolves or resolves smoothly without ever erupting into a real disruption. As Emmet Fox repeatedly taught, the words "I am" are the creative steering wheel of your life. Whatever you attach to "I am" becomes an immediate command to your subconscious mind. Therefore, when an impending threat or negative possibility appears on the horizon, your greatest defense is your vigilant control over your "I am" declarations. When people sense a potential problem coming, their instinctive reaction is to declare limitation using "I am." They say, "I am so nervous about this. I am terrified I'm going to fail. I am always the one who gets hurt." Or, "I am getting sick." Through these careless decrees, they give the impending threat full legal permission to enter their physical world. Preventive metaphysics requires you to issue a counter-decree the moment a threat appears. You must use the creative power of "I am" to establish your spiritual immunity before appearances can solidify. When a threat of financial disruption looms, boldly decree, "I am divinely supplied, secure, and prosperous." When a threat of physical weakness touches your body, decree, "I am vibrant, strong, and whole." When a threat of confusion or bad decision-making arises, decree, "I am guided by infinite wisdom and perfect clarity." Do not speak these decrees with desperate shouting or forced emotion. Speak them with quiet, unwavering authority, the same way a monarch issues an official decree that cannot be challenged. By anchoring your "I am" in wholeness before the problem manifests, you create an impenetrable shield of consciousness that neutralizes every negative seed. To make neutralization an automatic, effortless habit, Emmet Fox encouraged practicing what we may call the 7-day mental guard. This is a conscious commitment to act as the alert, vigilant gatekeeper of your mind for 7 consecutive days. Imagine your subconscious mind as a high-security vault containing your future reality. You are the security guard standing at the single entrance to this vault. Your explicit instruction for the next 7 days is to inspect every single thought, feeling, and suggestion that approaches the door. If a thought of peace, abundance, health, love, or confidence arrives, you open the gate wide and welcome it in. If a seed thought of worry, fear, resentment, gossip, or limitation arrives, you hold up your hand and declare, "You have no entry here." During these 7 days, whenever you catch yourself starting to slide into a negative train of thought, catch yourself within 5 seconds. Do not punish yourself or feel guilty. Simply state quietly, "Mental guard alert, channel shift," and substitute the thought immediately with a divine truth. By maintaining this vigilant guard for 7 continuous days, something extraordinary happens to your subconscious baseline. The old habits of automatic worrying, chronic complaining, and fearful speculation begin to lose their momentum. Your subconscious atmosphere becomes pure, peaceful, and elevated, creating an environment where negative problems simply cannot find the necessary conditions to take root and manifest. A major obstacle that prevents people from experiencing effortless peace is the chronic, hidden fear of sudden disaster. Many individuals carry an unspoken belief that life is inherently unstable and that catastrophe can strike at any moment without warning. They live in a state of quiet, subconscious hypervigilance, constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop. This underlying fear of sudden disaster is itself a massive negative seed that continually attracts chaotic and stressful situations. It keeps your nervous system on high alert and signals to your subconscious mind that danger is always present. Emmet Fox taught that this fear is based on a fundamental spiritual misunderstanding. It assumes that you are a helpless physical organism living in a cold, chaotic, random universe governed by blind chance. The spiritual truth is that you live, move, and have your being within an intelligent, loving, and harmonious spiritual universe. Divine law is absolute, unfailing, and constantly operating to maintain order, protection, and harmony for every soul that aligns with it. To dissolve the chronic fear of sudden disaster, practice anchoring yourself daily in the realization of divine protection. Contemplate the truth that universal intelligence surrounds you like an impenetrable field of light. Affirm quietly, I dwell in the secret place of the Most High. No evil can befall me, and no discord can enter my home or mind. As this truth takes deep root in your subconscious, the fear of sudden disaster vanishes, replaced by an unshakable sense of permanent security. As you progress in preventive metaphysics, neutralizing problems before they manifest stops being an exercise that requires deliberate calculation and becomes a seamless, natural habit. Emmet Fox described this as the state of instantaneous realignment. Consider how a modern airplane flies from one city to another. Throughout the entire flight, crosswinds, turbulence, and air pressure continuously push the aircraft slightly off course. The airplane's automatic pilot system does not panic or wait until the plane is hundreds of miles away in another country. It makes micro-adjustments every single second, instantly realigning the plane with its true flight path. Instantaneous realignment is the practice of becoming your own spiritual autopilot. Throughout your ordinary day, minor disturbances will naturally touch your awareness. A rude driver, a minor mistake at work, an unexpected delay, or a sudden thought of self-doubt. Instead of allowing these minor disturbances to accumulate into a heavy cloud of bad mood or chronic stress, you execute an instant micro-adjustment in consciousness. You take one conscious breath, release the tension, substitute the negative thought with a truth, and return immediately to your baseline of peace. Because you execute these micro-adjustments continuously throughout the day, negative momentum is never allowed to build up. Problems are neutralized so swiftly at the seed stage that your physical life becomes a smooth, harmonious, and joyful unfolding. A subtle error that many spiritual seekers commit when attempting to apply preventive metaphysics is the trap of forced mental overworking. When a negative suggestion or challenge appears, they begin frantically repeating affirmations, pacing the floor, and feverishly trying to fix their thoughts. In doing so, they generate an immense amount of strain and mental friction, which inadvertently magnetizes the very problem they are trying to avoid. Emmet Fox reminded his students that true spiritual power is quiet, relaxed, and deeply poised. There is a sacred art to quiet non-action. Once you have applied the law of substitution or performed a preventive treatment, your next duty is to mentally step back and allow spiritual law to do its work in silence. Do not continually pull up the spiritual seed to see if it is working. Do not monitor your mind with anxious hypervigilance, asking yourself every 5 minutes, is the fear gone yet? This anxious tinkering demonstrates a lack of faith in the law you have set in motion. Quiet non-action means trusting that the higher vibration of divine truth you have introduced into your mind is infinitely more powerful than any negative suggestion. You return to your daily activities with a calm demeanor, knowing that the spiritual work is finished in consciousness. By remaining quiet and relaxed, you give universal intelligence the necessary internal space to reorganize your physical reality smoothly and effortlessly. To ensure that your subconscious atmosphere remains continuously immune to negative seeds, Emmet Fox emphasized the practice of daily rededication. Just as you sweep your home daily to prevent dust from accumulating, you must sweep your consciousness daily to prevent negative world suggestions from building up unnoticed. Establish a simple, sacred morning and evening spiritual routine. When you wake up in the morning, before checking your phone, reading news, or engaging with external demands, dedicate 10 minutes to establishing your spiritual foundation. Affirm, this day belongs to Spirit. Divine wisdom guides my choices, divine harmony governs my interactions, and divine supply meets every need. In the evening, before going to sleep, perform a quiet mental review of your day. If you notice any unneutralized fears, lingering resentments, or anxious thoughts from the day's events, dissolve them immediately. Forgive everyone involved, release the grievances, and hand your mind over to Spirit as you fall asleep. Sleeping with a clean, peaceful subconscious mind is one of the greatest secrets of preventive metaphysics. During the hours of sleep, your subconscious mind digests the thoughts you left it with. By going to sleep in a state of quiet gratitude and spiritual alignment, you ensure that your subconscious spends the night building a harmonious, prosperous, and peaceful reality for your tomorrow. When you master the art of neutralizing problems before they manifest, your entire relationship with the physical world undergoes a profound transformation. You no longer walk through life with a sense of dread, vulnerability, or chronic fatigue. You enter what Emmet Fox called the safe haven of consciousness. Living in the safe haven means realizing that your true home and ultimate security are not found in physical bank accounts, human promises, or external circumstances, but in your unshakable internal alignment with divine law. You understand that your mind is the master, and outer reality is the servant that must obey the decrees of your settled consciousness. In this safe haven, you look out at the world with calm, clear, and compassionate eyes. When you see news of chaos, economic instability, or widespread fear, you no longer absorb it into your soul. You recognize those appearances as the collective harvest of unneutralized fear seeds held by the world, but you know that your personal reality is governed entirely by the seeds you choose to harbor in your own mind. You walk through your daily duties with an open heart, a relaxed body, and an alert, peaceful mind. You handle practical matters with efficiency and grace, but your inner peace remains anchored in the quiet realization that spirit is your permanent source, your absolute protection, and your eternal good. The journey of neutralizing any problem before it manifests is the ultimate path to true spiritual mastery and effortless living. It is the shift from being a passive victim who reacts to physical consequences to becoming a conscious master who governs causes in the unseen realm of consciousness. Tonight, resolve to stop living in reactive struggle. Stop waiting for problems to grow into overwhelming physical crises before you decide to apply spiritual truth. Turn your attention inward, become the alert guardian of your mind, and handle every difficulty at the sacred seed stage. Remember the foundational rules of Emmet Fox. No problem can manifest in your physical world unless it has first been harbored as a seed thought in your subconscious mind. Whatever you give your attention to will expand. Whatever you withhold your attention from will starve and dissolve. Do not fight negative thoughts. Substitute them immediately with higher spiritual truths using the Law of Substitution. Use the golden key at the very first whisper of worry. Stop thinking about the problem and think about the divine instead. And keep your I am anchored firmly in wholeness, abundance, peace, and divine protection. You hold the master key to your reality within your own consciousness. By keeping your internal atmosphere clean, clear, and aligned with spirit, you step out of the storm of physical struggle and into the quiet, effortless harmony that was always meant to be your true destiny.